Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. I'm here to check in and share with you how my reading rush went now that the wonderful week-long reading rush readathon is over. I'm gonna share with you how I did reading the books that were on my TBR. This stack was a little ambitious for me to begin with, but even still I didn't end up reading as much as I wanted to, and it's okay. I'm really satisfied for the most part. Let's share what I did accomplish. First of all, I did complete The Magical Language of Others by E.J. Koh. This was wonderful. I really enjoyed this one. This is a memoir about the author who is rather young, and so it's very much about like her teenage and early 20 years when her parents, who are South Korean immigrants, leave her and her brother in California and they move back to South Korea for a job opportunity, which ends up lasting longer than they anticipated. And so this is really about those ongoing years of her feeling somewhat abandoned, but also trying to be emotionally strong and like survive these years separated from her parents, but also the just sort of the emotional complexities and the ways that she also didn't deal with it. Some things like eating disorders and things like that that really are subtle but make clear that the mental health, her mental health really suffered from this decision that her parents made. And the structure of this book follows letters written from her mother in Korean, which the author has translated. And then between those letters are like chapters that follow more of the memoir style of her reflecting on her life. The author, as we later find out in the book, ends up pivoting into poetry in her university years, and that's really evident in the book because I felt like this was really, really beautifully written. I also just found this a really striking and emotional experience to read, and one thing that has stuck with me with this book, and I mean this with the biggest compliment possible, I've never had a book make me want to pick up the pen and like write stories about my life so much. I've never had a book really make me want to do that, and this book very much did. It made me think about my life and what sort of like deeper reflection, like primarily deeper reflection on some of the experiences of my life, but also that it could be meaningful in a variety of ways, including therapeutic, to write about some of those experiences. And that is a massive compliment that I mean to give this book. I definitely enjoyed this. I definitely think it was very, very beautiful. It wasn't one of my best books I've ever read, but it's really, really good, and I would definitely recommend it because the experience of reading it was really, really great. As for the remaining books on my TBR, I'll first of all just get out of the way that I did not read Ghostwall by Sarah Moss. I ended up actually completely forgetting about this book because I ended up going with Pride and Prejudice as fulfilling the prompt of reading a book from another continent, so we can just put that aside. But the remaining books that I chose to read, Pride and Prejudice, A Woman Is No Man, and A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, I got halfway through all of these books and I didn't finish any of them. So really what happened is I first of all picked up Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, but because it was taking me so long, I picked up The Magical Language of Others, and that put me in a mother-daughter mood. So then I read A Woman Is No Man, but this book, despite its like length feeling very manageable, has newspaper pages, so it's much thicker than it actually looks, and there's really kind of a lot of pages on words on the page. It was taking me a lot longer than I expected, and so I shifted back to focusing on A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, in part because I wasn't enjoying being in the middle of both of these books and I wanted to finish one of them for the readathon. So Saturday night I decided I will buckle down and I will finish this book, and I think I could have done it, but I woke up Sunday morning with an absolute clearest mood that I wanted to know, Mr. Bennet, has Netherfield Park been let at last? And thus I spent all of Sunday reading Pride and Prejudice, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I told you that I read Pride and Prejudice like 10 years ago and I enjoyed it at the time, but I do not think that I appreciated the writing. I know that I did not appreciate the writing in this book. The quality, it's just exquisite. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that I've noticed this time rereading that I certainly will comment more on when I actually like finish the book and can share more of my thoughts. But coming away right now, this book is dense. Is that the right word? Like, it really feels like it is moving very fast, and that the author, Jane Austen, the incredible, magnificent, the wonderful Jane Austen, does not like waste a word. I remember this book like enjoying it but feeling like it maybe moved slow. This thing is whipping by for me. One, I know that I have matured as a reader, but like two, the round two of reading this book is such an incredibly different experience, and I am loving it so much. Oh, this video has gotten really scattered all over the place. Let me go back to these books. A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, I am now about halfway through. I would say that this has, I didn't remember a lot about the first book, and so it's hard for me to say that this is going in a different direction than I expected, because I don't know that I expected anything, but there's definitely a lot more like fast action happening, a lot of quick developments, and I'm gonna save my final thoughts for when I finish it. But I am also really enjoying the social commentary and like technological development commentary, things like that. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this, and I actually do hope to finish this very soon. Obviously, I mean, that goes without saying, like, I can't wait to get back to it. A Woman Is No Man by Etaf Rum. This book, ooh, well, I'm really not that far into this one, only 50 pages or so, and I'm feeling nervous, not because I don't think I won't like it, but this book is going a bit more intense and dark than I was expecting. Can you hear a little baby in the background? She's adorable, but she's very loud. I think that the direction the author is really going with this is highlighting the potential for very unhealthy and unhappy marriages within the culture of very traditional Islamic marriages. I mean, if this ends up being a bit depressing, I certainly do not think and won't come away thinking that like all Islamic marriages are this way, even arranged ones, but like it can be, I think there could be something very important that the author is saying here from her perspective. So I think I'll leave it with that. That's all of the books. That's all of the books that I wanted to read. The one that I successfully did read. While I didn't finish these books, they're fantastic, and I'm off to a great start, and I plan to finish them over the next few days to wrap them up before the end of the month, and hopefully can start the new month with sort of a fresh challenge, some new TBR stacks to work on, so I'm really looking forward to that. I hope if any of you participated in the Reading Rush readathon that you had a great time, that you also enjoyed the things that you read. If you did, share with me what you read, what you felt about it, how you liked it. If you have a video or an Instagram where you recorded your experience with the Reading Rush, please share it down below so I can check it out as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I think that's it. I'll see you in another video. Bye!